Welcome to Fast Guard News. My name is Rod Payne, and I'm here with.
Asia Payne.
And today we're here to go over issues that we've been seeing come up. I know it's Christmas time, and a lot of people have been calling us to use our PI services about dating and doing PI services for vetting, I guess, the people that they're potentially going to be with, and maybe they're out shopping for gifts and they're thinking about, you know what, I wonder if this person is really who they say they are. So today's segment is going to be about, that PI for dating. How do you use a private investigation service or run a background for dating?
For dating? Oh, while dating? Or
Well,
even
yeah, like,
being
so
married?
this is somebody that
think
now
this is-
you're thinking about being with.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
but
want to
I-
know a little bit about, like, if this guy he's driving a Benz today, but he really works at McDonald's? Wouldn't that be kind of helpful in figuring out if, I know money isn't everything, right?
Yes.
But you still want to identify if the person's telling the truth. Correct or no?
Yes, but I feel like the most, like the PI's requests that we get and phone calls that we get are mostly associated with people that are already in relationships.
Correct. And so many of the people don't know that this service exists. What drives people to Google to find a private investigator when they're already with somebody is sheer anger, I believe. I think in a lot of ways people are trying to get to the bottom of something they think is the truth. They got a feeling in their gut. But we're talking about preemptive. This can help a lot of people out, especially this holiday season or during this season when people are spending time with families. People are introducing their significant others to their family. Why do you think people hesitate on getting background checks done? Like, wouldn't you have loved before you got married to have a background check on a person, or before you dated a person? Wouldn't that be like something that would have helped? You would have realized that they beat the hell out of their last girlfriend, or
If they get caught.
well, if they get caught. Well, the background says a lot, right? It's just, why do you think people do that on jobs? Why do you think background checks?
I think as an adult, yes, but I was too young. But if I was to date now, as the age that I am, yeah, it would be good to know.
Yeah.
It would be, because now you have more to lose. You
That-
have like, it's just there's a lot more involved.
Correct. A partnership, any type of relationship that I think you get involved with as an adult.
Yeah.
And again, this is a service for adults. This is not a
Yeah,
this is a paid to play type deal.
Yeah. It costs
Dealing
money.
with private investigation. Of course, there's a money aspect to it, but the big thing is, I think that people hesitate to get these things done because people don't want to be intrusive. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, you can't just trust what people say on the front. Like, you can't take a book. You can't judge a book by its cover. You don't want to take people on their face value because, we've seen it 101 times. There was just a gentleman that at my alma mater at FAMU that donated this big check for like millions of dollars, and he spoke at a graduation to all of these children or young adults that have now graduated, and then they come to find out that he was a fraud. Man, what a background check would have did for them in that situation. He gave them a big donation and did all of this stuff and, embarrassed a lot of people. I think the president had to resign after that. So it was, you look at things like that, like would knowing who this person was before they stepped up and spoke to people and gave this check and embarrassed everybody, would it have made sense?
Yeah.
So in a dating field, or if, say, you're a woman and say if you were single and you're in the dating field, wouldn't it make sense before you try to create a union between you and somebody else? Maybe not when you meet a person. Running every person that you meet is crazy. But once you decide to say, hey, let's move this thing forward, let's be serious, would it be a situation where you would want to know that background?
Yeah. Definitely. Even sometimes new friendship.
Also true. so
I would like to know.
Yeah.
What am I getting myself into?
You want to know who people are. We're in
Yeah.
South Florida. They say it's a sunny place for shady people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have to use the tools that are given to us, now with facial recognition, now with so many different tools that you could use just to find out who a person was. I can't tell you about how many nightmares that I've heard in law enforcement before I got involved in the security private side and an investigation that I heard about people going through scenarios and they thought this person was one person and they come to find out this person had killed somebody or they had a whole nother family. It's like, a 30-minute check on the internet, a 5-minute conversation with one of our agents on the phone, we can get you the answers you need for that type of stuff. So I think that people are pensive to run a check on somebody, mainly because of privacy
It's a
issues.
service that's underrated.
Correct. It's privacy issues. People like, I don't want to dig too much into her background
well,
or to his
find
back.
out.
Yeah, you're going to find out the hard way.
Or the other.
I mean, in today's world, you might find out that he is a she or she is a he or vice versa. So I think that this stuff is very important when it comes down to knowing. How do you think that the internet has came in with dating to where like it increases the risk of what people are going through? Like I heard a lady that said that she was sending money to this guy that she met. He had DM'd her, and because he had a blue check on his Instagram, she believed he was who he said he was, and she was sending the money, and come to find out it was like some fraudster in India or something that had her sending money. How do you feel about that? Do you think that there's more risk?
I don't trust the internet.
It's hard. Imagine if you had to date right now and you have to look at pictures. What's that app where you swipe left or swipe right if you like a person? And imagine judging a person just off that, especially knowing what you've seen in your life and what we've seen down here in Miami. Like you said, they should have that for friends. You should be able to run your friends' background and see who the hell they are, because sometimes people are weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's a good service to have.
Okay.
I think that it would bring, like I said, it's underrated. I think a lot of people don't know about it, but also I think a lot of people think it's out of their price range. When you hear private investigation, you think, oh shit, money, like a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I think that's not the case, depending on like how long investigation are, because we can also do reports. Like it's not a physical person's not going to follow the person all day and night. Like there's just really...
Precursory. This is a preliminary investigation. Like, wouldn't it help to know, like, now on Instagram, you got guys that run around and girls that run around and they look like they're living this illustrious life of luxury, and you come to find out they're Ponzi schemers or scammers. Wouldn't that help to know, what a person's doing?
Yes, because I think we have the knowledge and the power to figure out whether if this is true or not beyond just a Google search that what people can do. Because sometimes people are really good at what they do, and you might never find out until you get too deep in it.
Correct. Now, how do you feel about like red flags that come up in a background check? So once you get a background check, part of what comes with it is sometimes we can do assets. If they own assets, we'll do possible employers, because that comes up a lot. A lot of women call in saying, this guy said that he's a business owner and he's a real estate owner and he's this owner and that owner. And it sounds to me like he doesn't really have a job. I just want to be sure because I'm thinking about moving to the next step. And we run backgrounds, and if they own something, it doesn't say it on paper. And usually that's where you'd find that type of information in the background.
Yeah.
Arrest records. Like I think me and you both had a friend in mutual that somebody that they were dealing with like beat them to death. It was a situation where the person was unalived because if they would have maybe took a look at the background, they would have known this person had a history of this behavior before they got with him. And so I think that, don't you agree that these things make sense?
It makes sense. I just think a lot of people just don't go about their day thinking about stuff like that. And again, we always talk about meeting people on the internet, and it's scary and they could show off whatever they want. But it's also, when you meet someone in real life, you also have no idea where they come from either. So can't be fooled by either or.
Don't be fooled.
Yeah, it's not a situation just because you met him in person that out of a sudden it makes it better.
Correct.
You still don't know where he comes from.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, trying to identify the unknown is, I guess, what we can help you with as a private investigation
agency.
agency.
Help you get started with the basic.
Correct.
You
want to make sure the person is who they say they are. So
that's a good start.
What do we need to run an investigation? I think we only need a phone number. an email address.
Yeah.
So imagine if a person gives you their phone number, and from that
Or
phone
take a picture
number,
of their ID.
yeah, you do what you need to do that investigation, especially if you're gonna have this person.
And don't try to confront
around
them
you.
if something goes up. Just ease your way out slowly.
You got to not, like my dad
Confrontation
says.
is not a good
He
thing.
says, "Hey, you don't slam it in the reverse. You knock the vehicle in the neutral,
Ease your way out.
ease to a stop,
Yeah.
then put it in reverse and get out of
Yeah,
there."
you don't confront people with what you've learned.
Correct. So, guys, there you have it. This segment of Fast Guard News is done. We want to say thank you to Asia Payne for stopping by and answering a few questions about the internet. Again, if you need a private investigation because you met somebody that may be a creep, hit us up, 844-254-8273 or 844-254 or 25-GUARD. It's Fast Guard service. We're here to protect you.